Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Clint Initiative Podcast. Watch this message, and we'll be right back.
Hello and welcome to the Clint Initiative podcast. What is the Clint Initiative? The Clint Initiative is a multi-phase project to create entertainment here in Minnesota and to distribute that entertainment to the world, starting with this podcast. This podcast is the seed from which everything else will grow. The Clint Initiative is about great music. The Clint Initiative is about great live entertainment. The Clint Initiative is about a sketch show. The Clint Initiative is all about filmed content. If you want to know how to do a podcast, listen to the Clint Initiative. If you want to know how to do an album, how to find musicians, how to get it recorded, listen to the Clint Initiative. If you want to know how to create more content over a short period of time, you're listening to the Clint Initiative and we will help you get there. If you are ready to create, if you're ready to talk about creating, if you're ready to be about it and get it done, we want to talk to you. This is the Clint Initiative. My name is Paul and my co-hosts are Katie, Clint, and Jamel. We are the Clint Initiative. If you are interested in creating content, if you're interested in creating movies, music, television, films, short films, and feature films, then we want to talk to you. We want to have you on the show. Email us at theclintpodcast@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. And now, back to the show.
Okay, it looks like everyone's here. Katie probably isn't going to make it because she's still recouping from the surgery that she had. So, what are we doing? We're throwing it at the
At the
wall. We are
wall,
throwing it
throwing
at
it
the
at the
wall.
wall.
We're throwing it at the wall. We are throwing it at the wall. We're throwing it at the wall. We
Wall.
are throwing it at the wall to see what sticks. Come on, tirando a pared, estamos tirando a pared, estamos tirando a pared, estamos tirando a pared, a ver que se pega. Ah, ah. Well, welcome everyone to the Clint Initiative podcast. We are here every week, Thursdays at noon Minnesota time, and I'm hoping that you will want to make this a part of your regular Thursday routine. But now, this is the part of the show where we check in with the co host. And since Jay is still making his shake, it looks like he's
You,
about to return.
Hmm.
So let me go ahead and check in with you. How is your day going there?
oh,
Clint?
it got its ups and downs, but I am doing great. All thanks to God. I have my two hands, my 2 feet, my mouth to speak, and I'm here to see you. And I'm setting my spirit free and bringing good energy with my cup of tea.
Okay, you got that cup of tea. Just make sure you don't spill the tea, okay?
I'm not ready for that yet.
Okay. Well, because we're waiting for Jamel to come back, what I'm going to do is well, hey, Jay, you're back just in time. This is the
Jay,
co-host check-in part of the show.
Right on, right on time.
right on
So,
time.
how is your day going, Jamel? How's your week so far?
My week has been great so far. Things are going good. It's been busy, keeping things as productive and as efficient with my time as possible. So yeah, everything is great. God is good and blessed, and I'll always stay that way.
Amen.
Okay, and my good words for this week for you guys, you probably noticed if you were looking at the channel at all that I've been doing what was the plan all along, which is as we broadcast the show live on Thursdays, I then cut each piece of the show, like the co-host check-in, the Bible bracket, each piece I cut and make little short segments. So that it's easier for people to watch and easier for people to share. So for me, that's the main thing I wanted to check in with you guys and let you know. And it looks like we may have lost Jamel. That happens, I guess.
Jamal, Jamal
So,
might be making another shake again.
and you'll probably notice that I've updated the things that we use to sort of go between different segments. That was based on feedback that I got from people,
Hmm.
and so taking that feedback to heart, I am updating how we do things. So I'm pretty sure that hopefully they will appreciate that.
We're
And
making it all perfect for you guys. It's all about for you. We care about
yes,
our viewers.
and as you can see from the thing on the screen, this is a part of the show where we entertain the random questions that I come up with. And it looks like Jay is back, which
Back
is
in
good.
time, bro. Where did you go?
I don't know. I went to sign it in, so if anyone decided to chat with us, that I can see it, and it
I
just
don't.
went.
I've been trying to figure out that because we had a viewer. She said, "Hey, she's been giving me shout out, and I wasn't responding." But I'm trying to figure out how to log in. You guys got to show me that.
Well,
Sorry
we
about that,
actually,
Alicia.
that's something we can discuss and talk about offline, but I have two random questions. The
Mm.
first, and you guys get to choose which one you want to do, or we can do both. The first question is about streaming services. You know, streaming services, they have shows that they show, and with some, they drop all the shows at one time, and you can just watch them at your leisure and binge them if you want. And then they take streaming shows and they release it one show at a time. So the
Mm.
first question that we get to choose from is which one do you prefer? When they drop all the episodes at once or when they drop it weekly? And the next is let's talk about the music that you like because a big part of what the films that we'll be doing music is a big part of that. So that's something that we're going to talk about. But which question would you guys want to entertain? The streaming services question or the music question?
I'm a music guy.
So Clint wants to go music. What
I
about
got
you,
my
Janelle?
knowledge. My knowledge is about. I'm still learning about the streaming service and all that. So, but I could give you my input about music, and I know what some people like, and I know what I like when it comes to music.
Well, let's hear what Jay. Which one would you like to entertain today, my friend?
I'm a music guy, so music is on my agenda.
Thank you, Jamel. That's why you're gonna go first.
Okay, so with that being said, since you were the last to speak up, I'm going to put you on the spot there. Jamel, give me your top three types of music that you like to listen to and maybe a favorite song you like.
I'll just give you genres that I like. Um, I am into reggae, reggaeton, R&B. Yeah, so those are my top three.
Okay, and Clint,
Hmm.
where are you musically, my friend? What are your favorites? And do you have a favorite song you want to pump up today?
Well, I'm from the land of steel pan calypso, Trinidad and Tobago. So we like a mixture of all. We appreciate all types of music. But one of my favorite songs. I'm an old school type of guy, and one of my favorite songs is from Jody Mitchell. Is it Jody? Yeah, Jody Mitchell. Jody or Jody? Jody Mitchell.
Joni. Joni
Joe,
Mitchell.
right. Joni Mitchell. It's called Both Sides Now, and I like the idea of the music. It makes you feel. Where there's a part of the song where she sings "Rose and Flows of Angel here and ice cream castles in the air and feathered canyons everywhere. I look at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on every what. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. It's so inspiring. It makes you feel happy and sad at the same time. So I like music, what could make me feel. And I'm also a Disney person because I love all the Disney songs and classics. And I also love my gospel music too.
Wow. I looked at clouds from both sides now.
You know it. Yes. It's such a beautiful song.
Yeah,
It's
and
dear
that's
to my
me.
heart.
I always want to listen to songs that have meaning, that touch me, where the lyrics, the music, and everything is in sync. And when
Mm,
you listen to it, it just touches your spirit, and
mm. It-
you can't help but sing along or speak up.
yeah.
And I tell you, I listen to all kinds of music. And
Mhm.
one of my favorite artists of all time, which you never hear a lot about now, is Jim Croce, Bad Leroy Brown, and a few other of his songs. They tell a story, and as you guys can probably tell, I like to be able to tell a story. I'm a
Mhm.
storyteller, and
Yes.
when I have a song or a songwriter or music in front of me where they tell a story, it's always something that's going to grab me. So a lot of the music that I listen to is my own music, of course, but then I also listen to music that tell a story. Um, Even some of the old school rap, what I really liked about it, don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It
Don't do
tells
that.
a story.
It's like a jungle sometimes.
Uh,
It makes me wonder
it's
how I
the,
keep from
sto-
going
the,
under. A
the
man with potential
story
tried
and
to
poetry.
repossess my car. Don't push me. So it's one of those things where if it tells a story, I don't care what the genre is. Entertain me, tell me a
Mhm.
story, engage me, and then we can go from there. So yeah, for me, music is something that um, I listen to a lot when I drive. And there's nothing better than driving along and hearing that right song come on the radio. It puts you in that mood, you know? Ah, boy, it was good talking about music.
They don't make them like they used to. They don't. Because
Well, they
music
don't make
back
it like
then
they used
it
to,
used to be
but
like poetry.
yeah, it used to be. Well, it still is like poetry, but now all they're doing is just yelling at each other. We're not going to talk about the beef yet. That's probably for next week.
Mm.
So, in this part of the show, what we're going to talk about, we're going to hear from our only sponsor. And our only sponsor is Cycle Forward Film. And I just want to let you guys know that in my search for things to talk about for the show, and in my search for everything through my different hard drives and external drives, there's a documentary I started working on a few years ago. And the name of the documentary is called Black Men. And it's the first in a series of films that I want to make where I just talk to black men about their place in society. I talk to them about how their life has been, about moments in their life, and about what it means to be a black man specifically in America, because there are different challenges and things to overcome, and there are different triumphs that black men have had in life that no one talks about. So I think it's time for us to celebrate black men, to have a conversation with black men, and give them a platform to speak. So I'm going to take that footage from the first three guys that I interviewed, and I'm going to make a short introductory film to let people know about the series. Because I think next I'm going to talk to black women. Next, I'm going to talk to um, Hispanic women. Then I'll talk to Hispanic men. Then I'll talk to Asian men and women. So it'll be an ongoing series of short films where people just talk about their experience in America. And that's a word from our sponsor, Cycle Forward Films. So what do you guys think of that?
interesting, elevating, uplifting.
Well, I hope it will be because it's one of those things where people talk about us
Hmm.
a lot, but very few people take the time to talk to us. And that's why I want to take the time to actually talk to everyone and then have them a chance, give them a chance to speak, which they normally don't get. What do you think of that, Jamel?
That's a good idea, because for the simple fact that, it's breaking the stereotype. Because when you don't talk to someone, you just see them, automatically your appearance, people are looking at you and judging you on your appearance, and they don't even know you by your personality or your characteristics or how you carry yourself. They just look at you. And some people are intimidated to talk to a person, or once they do, they're like, oh, this person isn't so bad after all. Actually, this person is really nice. Wow. I'm
There
so
you
proud,
go.
you
Yeah,
know, and it be like that. So
and it's one thing to think you know people and their point of view and how they navigate life. It's quite another thing to have them speak up and for you to find out, oh, this is where they really are. So I'm hoping that with the first one that I'm going to release soon, which is
Hmm.
just a snippet of the overall project, I'm hoping that people will be intrigued enough to want to know more. So now, this is the part of the show where we come to the origin story for the Clint Initiative podcast. And I can't talk about the Clint Initiative podcast without talking about the Mill City Singers. I came up with the idea for the Clint Initiative podcast when I was driving around doing my DoorDash and I would listen to PBS. They would always beg for money. But in addition to them always begging for money, they will have interesting guests on. And one day they had on the guy who runs the Mill City Singers. And the beauty of the Mill City Singers is it's a professional choir where all you have to do is show up. You show up and you can be a member of the choir. And that inspired me to start the Clint Initiative podcast. The Clint Initiative and this podcast, it's an experiment to see if that same philosophy can work with creating films, creating streaming content, and creating music as well. Just you show up and you can be a part of what we do either on camera or behind the scenes, but you can help us make it happen and get it done. And that's what this podcast and everything we're doing is all about. This podcast is going to be the seed that's going to help us grow and become a powerhouse in creating content, streaming, film, and music. So that's the story of how we came to be who we are. And I was lucky enough to find Clint and Jamel, and of course Katie, who is out today because she's not feeling well. So when we're together here, we're creating something that is going to, well, it's going to blow up. That's all I'm going to say. Now we come to what I consider the fun part of the show. This is the part of the show where we talk about our Bible bracket, the Clinton Initiative Podcast Bible bracket. Now, what is a show Bible? A show Bible is a document that outlines the characters, plots, settings, and themes of a television series. Writers pitch show Bibles to network executives and production companies in the hopes that they would procure a production agreement. Now, we are showing our Bible bracket when we do our shows in the hopes that our sponsors, which is our audience, in the hope that they will want to invest in and become a part of our show. So when we do this bracket every week, we're basically showing the audience what we have to offer in the hopes that they will want to invest in it or, in fact, be a part of it. Now, this was our first 4 weeks. And those are our winners on the bracket. We have Sentient, and then we have Maria Trout, and then we have Straw, and then we had John Long. Those were the series, the movies that advanced. Right now, we're mostly talking about the movies, but there will be other brackets and other opportunities for people to see what we have upcoming. And everything we have on this list depends on support from our audience. So as we post the show and as we post clips from the show, I hope that people will like, comment, and share so that we can grow. So we did have habits, and then after that we had grave decisions. So now this week we've got two new movies to talk about. And what we're going to do, guys, I'm going to introduce each one. We're going to discuss them, between ourselves. And then finally, we're going to decide which one is the winner. So, are you guys ready?
Like Freddie.
Ready?
get
Like ready. Okay. So, the first one is disturbing. Now, I fell down a YouTube black hole this week. And this crawled out, disturbing crawled out. Basically, how many disturbing things can you be exposed to on the internet before you yourself become disturbed? The algorithm is designed so that the more you watch something, the more it will feed to you. And unfortunately, there's so many creators who have produced so much stuff on YouTube that I just have to define as disturbing. And in this film, we delve into one part of that black hole of disturbing content and the algorithm behind it and how it can shape one person's life. Now, the next film idea is called Just Once. Just Once. How many times in your life have you done something just once and you'll say, well, okay, that was fun, but I'm not doing that anymore. You come along, you do something, you do it just once, and you say, hey, I'm never going to do that again. It was okay once, but it's just not my thing. Well, just imagine if that one time you did something, not only was it caught on film, it went viral. And now millions of people have seen you do that one thing that you decided you're never going to go do again, but now it's viral. Millions of people have seen it. And every time you go out, you're confronted with the thing that you did just once. And trust me, we won't be playing the song just once when we do that movie. Okay, so I've introduced both ideas. Now, this is our discussion time. What do you guys think of disturbing and just once? Who wants to speak first?
You make it pick. Ladies first, but she's not here, so
Well,
Jamal will go.
since you spoke up, Clint,
Don't.
what do you think of the two ideas?
I love
Using
the
our rating system, which one sticks, which
the,
one needs work, and which one can we forget about?
the boat goes together. The boat could stick. I like the boat, but I have to pick one. But I'm gonna tell you, give my little knowledge about it. The both of them sends a powerful message for the young people out there. Just once, I see, it could deal with someone who's now, probably have a good reputation. They could be under peer pressure and all that. And the way how social media is going, they probably make them do something just to be in the group or the crowd, and it videotaped and blow up, go online. And it's hard for that person to come out, to clear their name, because it's all over on social media. And their name is dirty all over the internet. So I see that could also be a good learning experience. There's also a saying that experience is not always the best teacher. You know, people, they say you're going to learn from experience and they're going to do it just once and learn, but sometimes it isn't. So it could be a learning something that even though someone never done something before, better you don't do it because you never know what's going to turn out of it. And what's the name of the other one again?
The other one is disturbing.
Disturbing.
It's about those
Disturbing.
disturbing YouTube
Yeah.
black hole.
Disturbing could also stick. It also stick too, because it is also something that is learning for the young people who are now experiencing and experimenting on the internet, going online. The internet could also create monsters. You know, let's say someone who has a virgin brain, his parents introduce him to the computer, and they are not supervised properly. The internet is a window to a lot of demonic portals, and there's also it could also be used as positive. So the internet could actually make you and it could break you. I don't know which one to pick.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to continue the discussion, and I'm going to bring Jamel up here to get the so that we can discuss answer any of his questions and discuss it with him. What do you think, Jamel?
You know, I'm actually still thinking
Yeah, it's kind of hard to pick.
because there's so many avenues that both of those can go, and they could also be like, well, a sequel or a prequel to each one. So that's why I'm like, I don't know.
Okay. Well, my contribution to the discussion, I come up with a lot of different stories and ideas, and I constantly, every day, you can see it on the agenda that I send to you guys each week. I'm constantly scribbling down notes from experiences and things that happen, and all you have to do is go on YouTube and look at something once, and all of a sudden you get this flow of things that are related to that yeah, for me it got to the point where it was just disturbing, and I don't think that can make you anything you're not already going to be, but I think that what it can do is it can speed up the process for someone who maybe does have some rather disturbing ideas. They'll fall down that black hole and see so many videos reinforcing what they believe and who they are that the next thing you know, because they fell down that YouTube black hole, we get to experience that on a very visceral, real level. And I think that's something that film is great at exploring. Doing that character study of someone who already has disturbing tendencies, but then those disturbing tendencies are given a voice. And all of a sudden, we get to see that and suffer the consequences of it. With just once in our lives, there are things that we feel we have the obligation to do, or we feel the obligation to be. And when we do things outside of that, everyone seems to have an opinion. Even if it's something you've done once and you're never going to do it again, you get to hear everybody's opinions about something you never want to do again. And how people react to that is what's important, because sometimes something you've just done once, the more people tell you don't do it, you already had decided not to do it, but they keep telling me not to do it. So guess what? I think I'm going to do it. So I think just once gives us an opportunity. It's also another character study and an exploration of how we are all curious and we are all explorers in life. And the more we live and the more we explore, that's how we determine who we are, what we want to be, and who we ultimately will be for the rest of our lives. When we're not allowed to do that exploration, and when we're stuck at that just once stage, it basically destroys our capability to define and find who we really are. So with Just Once and Disturbing, these are two different character studies all about the human condition. One disturbing, and the other is disturbing only because of the way people react. Whew, that was a mouthful.
And you know,
Could
both of
tie
those
together.
both of those can, like I was saying, tie together. And just like for this month, mental health,
Hmm.
because you just never know. Because you'd be like, please God, just this once, let me get this disturbing thing out of the way. Please God, just this once. I don't really like what I'm about to do, but I gotta do it to make it to B, to from A to B. So please, just this once, let me make it through it. You know, just like that.
And just this one thing the person did could be very disturbing because
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
but I'm gonna give you an example of something that could be explored in Just Once, but it's just a story that I saw today, and for me, it's just an idea of the kind of things that people do. For example, in Florida, every bad story seems to come from Florida. I don't know why, but this young lady decided she wanted to dress up in a suit and go to the prom, and they escorted her out and kicked her out of the prom.
Hmm.
And I was thinking back in my day, how many times young ladies would dress up in men's suits and men's clothing and do stuff, and nobody really paid any attention to it. But now, a young lady dresses in a suit to go to her prom, and they kick her out.
Really?
It may have been something she only. It's Florida, man. So you know Florida. That's how they roll. But that also solidified to me the idea of just once. Back in my day, somebody just once would wear a suit to the prom, and the next thing you know, they're a beauty queen, Miss USA. You know, they go on to explore more their feminine side as well as exploring their masculine side, and they decided they want to be more feminine, and the next thing you know, they're a beauty queen. So I think that too many people with young people put an emphasis on the little things they do in exploring life, and all of a sudden it just becomes a bigger thing than it should be. Hopefully that helps because now we've had our introduction, we had our discussion, and based on our rating system, whether it sticks, needs more work, or whether we can forget about it, we know to forget about it is not on the agenda for either one of these because it seems like we all like both. But if you have to decide which one is first, which one are you going to choose, Clint?
I will say just once because at the same time, just once could also be disturbing. So I'll stick with just once.
Okay, so we're going to go with Just Once as the winner this week for Clint. And now, Jamel, which one would you
Just
want
once.
to have explored first?
Just once.
Okay, so it looks like we have a unanimous decision. And yeah, it seems like the ideas can blend into each other. But just like with the Clinton Initiative podcast, and just like with the Avengers Initiative with Marvel, as you can probably tell, I'm a big fan of Marvel.
Mm,
as
I
a
like
big fan,
both.
as a big fan of Marvel, you can tell that it's the things intertwined and mixed to create something that you could look back at each film and see a part where they all sort of connect. We have the capability now of, in an organic way, just like with the first half of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we have the opportunity to not only explore our subjects, but in a way have them connect. And as we get people coming to our shows and being a part of our shows, we actually will be able to make it all interconnect in a natural, organic way that enhances everything for everyone. So this week it looks like Just Once is the winner for our week 7 bracket. And now I've got a new part of the show that I'm introducing now that I want you guys to take a look at, and we're going to talk about it. And we are going to, okay, it is here somewhere. Where is it? This is why I'm glad I'm cutting the show up now so that when I have moments like this, I can still be able to, okay, so it's not here.
It's somewhere
It's
over the
somewhere.
rainbow. Over the
Okay.
rainbow.
No, it's not there. But this is where we okay. I'm gonna look one more time before I give up and just go for it. Okay, it's not there. Okay, so let me see if it's in my other thing here. I don't think it's there, so I'm just going to go ahead and then I'm going to talk about it instead. I'll have the video for next time. But, and now, this is where we're going to have a moment from the sketch show. And it's just like the Bible bracket where we talk about the ideas that we're going to pitch and things that are coming up. It's called And Now, a moment from the sketch show. And in the moment from the sketch show, we're going to have short clips that we're going to do. One is the unlucky newscaster. How many times have you seen that man on the street reporting stories, and all of a sudden you have people running up behind the newscaster, yelling stuff and running off? I think that that's something that we can mine for the show. Just go out on the streets of Minnesota and purposely have people run up behind the camera and say crazy stuff. Each week it can be a different thing that someone says, but it's just a moment from the show that sort of leads into more stuff. So, and another segment from the show is do either of you guys watch those competition reality shows?
I used to look at it way back then it get like too much like, you know, going over with too many and they get a bit boring because they keep doing different ones. But I used to look at it back with Flavor Flav, I Love New York. Those were the reality shows that I used to look at.
Okay.
After New York, that's it.
So Jamel, did you watch any of those competition shows at all? Are you there, Jamel?
I'm here.
I could have heard
Did
a
you
pin
watch any
drop
of
for
those
a second.
competition shows at all, or you didn't?
No.
No, it's not your cup of tea. Okay, I used to watch Hell's Kitchen a lot, and British Baking Show. I watched that a lot, and oh my God, you brought back memories with that Flavor Flav show.
Flavor Flav.
I was not expecting that to come out.
I take that back. Every now and then I would glance at American Idol and also Masked Singer every now and then.
Yeah, American Idol, they were cool, but I used to watch the ones with all the juice, Flavor Flav, and all the tea spilling. I Love New York. Come on, she had a mouth that would cut you to bits. It used to be those was entertaining. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's one of us who thinks that was entertaining.
Oh yeah.
My God.
I love and hated New York at the same time. She was really entertaining. Really. Flavor Flav was like, I can't believe those women kissing that guy.
Okay, and with that being said, that was one of the things that we're going to sort of explore. I like the idea of spoofing some of the competition shows. And I hadn't thought of Flavor Flav or New York, but oh my God, those were spoofs in and of themselves. It would be extremely difficult to spoof either one of those shows because they were so outrageous.
Well, what about one of those shows that they have out now is I forgot what the name of it is.
Not the Bachelor you're talking
but
about.
it's where you don't see them, but you can talk to them through a wall, and if they really like that person, then they will marry that person in 90
That's
days.
Yeah,
blind
90
date
Day
to
Fiance and shows like that where sight unseen, you marry the person and then they go from there. Or the show over in Europe where they actually show the person's body. They actually show the person's bits. And then people
Is
get to
that
choose from
oh I think
seeing their bits which one they would like to go on a date with.
I saw that on HBO. They have like the blind going up slowly from the legs to the waist to the chest, and
But you
then
gotta
So it's
also
hard.
you gotta also realize that Europe is uncut. There's nothing censored in Europe. So
Nothing.
they have the news where they strip while they give you the weather.
you kidding me?
They have game shows where they strip during game shows. Yeah, this is normal over
I
in
think I
Europe.
gotta move to Europe.
It is. Well, no, all you need is a VPN and you can actually spoof that you're over there and you can watch the European shows.
I want to be a
But
European.
but yeah, it's hard to spoof things like that because they're just so outrageous. But with that being said, we now come to another part of the show where we talk about give an update on our music journey and where we are with our music. And as I announced to you guys, something that's coming up soon is our musical director, Vixen Noor. People can check her out at vixennoir.com. And she's going to be our new music director, and she's going to help steer the musical direction of the show. Um, so people will be happy to know that it's not just me singing a cappella, throwing it against the wall. We actually do have a plan and an agenda, and now we have a musical director. So I don't know if you guys have had a chance to check out her website or not, but I'm going to be happy when she's able to come on board. I was hoping she would be able to come on board today, but she's busy working on an album. So until she finishes that album, she won't be as available to us. So I just wanted to go ahead and announce that so that people can start checking her out so that when she actually does hit the show, it'll be as fantastic as I think it's going to be. So now, what we're going to do next is this is the part where we really go full PBS on our audience, where we talk about our founders and our inner circle, and we start talking about all the different ways that people can support our show. Um, that is one of the most important things for us to grow and thrive and be able to make the things on our Bible bracket and soon our sketch show bracket come to life. These are all the different ways that people can support us. Did you want to talk about the different initiatives that we have, Clint?
I'll leave that for Jamel now.
Really?
Jamel been pretty quiet this morning. I don't know why. I've been saying too much.
So, Jamel, what would you like to say about our 3 different initiatives that we have for the Clint Initiative?
Well, if you really like how we're doing here and you are excited just as much as we are, and you're also out there liking, commenting, and sharing to help us grow, you can also help us grow in other ways by checking us out with the Patreon initiative, which, helping us by, sponsoring us a little bit. You can also buy us a cup of coffee on the Coffee Initiative, and that's spelled ko-fi.com. And you just look up that / the Clint Initiative podcast. And we also have our GoFundMe initiative, which you can find us at gofund.me / B866B3 lowercase a 0. And you can also contact us at the Clint Initiative at the Clint Podcast at gmail.com if you like us, want to need, we just like your feedback. Also, we want to know what's going to help us continue to grow with the show. And also, if you like to be a part of the show, let us know. And, eventually we can add you in and have you on the show and have a great time.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things is that our founders and our inner circle is what's going to help us grow. And in addition to the three ways that they can support us, they can also contact us at our email address and we can discuss other options and opportunities for support as well. So there are no shortage of ways that our show can be supported and that people can help us grow. So
Also, just
now,
keep in mind, everyone, yes, we are still learning the curves, and we do love your feedback, and that's going to help us continue to learn the curves and grow, and also do things in a way that will be more appealing to you. And just keep in mind that when we are able to start making these sketch shows, that's when the real fun begins. And if you are on one of our podcasts live, and then it doesn't even have to be live, but live, you will be a part of our sketch shows. And that's when all the fun begins.
yeah, and now we've had a great show, and now we come to the part of the show where we each get to give our final words. Um, yeah, man, I tell you, auditions suck. I'm just going to throw that out there. So I like the idea of being able to just give someone an opportunity to show up and then just to be on the show. So we're going to go to our final words to the audience as we end today's show. And Clint, I'm going to go ahead and put you up first. What are your final words to our audience?
Well, what I would like to say, thank you all for listening. Thank you for having us at your home, and we appreciate your company. And what I would like to say to you guys, before you assume, learn the fact. Before you judge, understand why. Before you hurt someone, feel. Before you speak, think.
Wow. Okay, so I see Clint is still going deep with our final words. So now I'm going to go ahead and go to Jamel and see where he takes us. So what are your final
let's see how
words
deep
to the
you can
audience,
go.
Jamel?
Thank you, everyone, for watching. We do love your support. Continue to help us by liking, commenting, and sharing us to help us grow. Feedback is very important to us. So please share your feedback at our email address, which is theclintinitiative@gmail.com. And I'm going to keep mine short. We have the power within us to make anything possible.
Okay, well, there you go. And just to issue a little correction, it's the Clint Podcast at gmail.com.
Sorry about that. The Clint Podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah, and I showed the wrong one. But yeah, I think I've already had my final word. But what I'd like to talk about now are some of the things that we're going to talk about in future episodes of the show so that people know what's coming up next. So, and of course, I don't have the graphic for that, so I'm not even going to look for it anymore. But on future shows, we're going to continue to talk about how people be messy and how we all have life stories. And sometimes you want to tell those stories. You know, we're in it for the ups, the downs, and we're in it long term. So as we are, we'll get to discuss so much. The Black Men Short is coming up soon. And I just want to leave you all with my hopes that everyone will have a great day. I'm going to send a word out to Katie, a short prayer for her health.
And Katie, if you are watching, get better and heal quickly.
Okay.
You better, Katie. You better. Oh, I'm going to come for you.
Yeah, so with that, it's been another great show, guys. And as I said, I'm going to be cutting up segments and clips from each of the shows and putting them up there. So if people want to see what we've done, it's always up there and available. And with that, this has been another episode of the Clint Initiative Podcast.
Podcast.
Here we go.